For me, it means starting with the people rather than starting with the systems and the infrastructure. I think for too many years we've had transport on its head. We've been designing infrastructure and systems without first talking to people about what they need. So to me it's a very welcome opportunity to turn the agenda around and to start with people. I think for me the biggest need for change is in the way that we decide on what transport infrastructure and investment is needed. We've been hearing already today that too much is driven by a few people. It's driven by the wealthy people, by the car drivers, and that increasingly people who can't afford to travel or haven't the means to get to where they need to be are being excluded. So we need to change our priorities completely, I think, and we need to have a rethink both at a political level and at a technical level about where investment should be going to make the biggest difference to people's lives. I think it can help because it's bringing together a huge number of transport professionals, politicians, policymakers to listen to some of these issues in a way that you don't get the opportunity to do on a day-to-day basis. You're sitting behind your desk, you're focusing on the challenges of your city or your country, and it's very important to take a step back and to listen to people coming at this same agenda but from a broader perspective. So I think potentially both the event itself and the papers that come from it and the follow-up that comes from it are very important tools in shaping the way that the transport world sees its future. There are fewer young people able to sustain an elderly population if they are not independent and self-sufficient. So it isn't just a social question, it's a huge economic question. And fundamental to the older generation, the aging baby boomers, is to be able to retain their independence. So we've got to find a way that enables them to keep moving and to be self-sufficient. And in part that's the way that we create neighborhoods so things are nearer to hand. It's encouraging people out of their cars, and many of the baby boomer generation in the US and in Europe have been driving a car since they were 16 or 17 or 18 and have never been on a bus. And if you try to use public transport for the first time when the doctor tells you to stop driving at 80 or 85, that's far too late and far too difficult. So we have a big challenge in encouraging older people to start using public transport while they still have a choice. And in part that's to do with making public transport more friendly, more accessible to their needs.